Siri was once the voice of the future, but now seems like an echo of the past. While Apple is treading water, competitors are creating AI that generates content and learns on its own. So, how did a smart assistant end up being so stupid? Technology is evolving rapidly. Companies that don't invest in the future are themselves becoming the past. Apple co founder Steve Jobs once said, "Innovation distinguishes the leader from the outsider." Ironically, years later, that phrase turned out to apply to his own company. In 2011, Apple revolutionized the iPhone 4S by introducing the Siri voice assistant. It was the first mass-market virtual assistant that understood natural language commands, beating the competition by years. However, more than a decade later, Apple has found itself in the role of catching up. So why did this happen? Apple's main mistake was underestimating the capabilities of the new AI and being overly cautious. The company has always relied on so-called on-device AI. When artificial intelligence works directly on the device, not in the cloud, this allowed it to protect user data and not depend on servers. Siri, from the very beginning, was conceived as a simple assistant. Simple commands like setting a timer or making a call, it performed itself. And for information search, it sent requests to other services. This approach seemed logical at the time, but now it is slowing down the development of the assistant. Competitors have powerful cloud models that learn and adapt much faster. Apple did not actively invest in the race for AI, neither its own GPT analog, nor investments in promising competitor developments became a priority, while Google and Microsoft were building huge data centers, hiring the best specialists, and buying up startups. Apple focused on practical tasks, improving the iPhone camera. With AI, image recognition, and Face ID development. These technologies are useful, but they didn't form the basis for the powerful chatbots that define the market today. It is the lack of its own generative AI product that is the main reason why Apple is lagging behind. In 2023-2024, when tech giants were demonstrating AI breakthroughs almost monthly, users were used to advance chatbots. Against their background, Siri looked outdated. Apple's assistant still coped poorly with complex queries, did not support a full-fledged dialogue, and often responded with formulaic phrases. New AI models are already able not only to give accurate answers, but also to write texts, generate code, analyze documents, create images and videos. Siri was not capable of all this. Moreover, Apple has conceded even in the segment of voice assistants. Google abandoned the old Google Assistant, which was launched with the familiar phrase, "OK Google," replacing it with Gemini, an advanced model that can conduct a dialogue, help in Gmail, and other services of the company. Amazon revamped Alexa, adding generative AI so it can keep conversations lively and come up with answers on the fly. Even Microsoft, one of OpenAI's biggest investors, has built ChatGPT into Bing and Microsoft Office, turning it into a full-fledged assistant. Siri, on the other hand, remains functionally poorer. It can't generate texts or code on demand. At most, it can dictate a message or play music, which it did 5 years ago. In addition, Apple continues to rely on other people's technology. Siri still borrows search answers from Google. This benefits the company. Google pays Apple about $20 billion annually to be the default search engine on the iPhone. Judging by leaked media reports, Apple has been in talks to integrate the company's technology since the summer of 2023. According to the information, OpenAI head Sam Altman met several times with top Apple executives, including the heads of Siri and AI divisions. During internal tests, Apple engineers connected ChatGPT to Siri and got the expected results. The assistant began to understand complex queries and dialogue better. This convinced Apple to move forward. Perhaps Siri can get back in the game too, if Apple wraps OpenAI and other companies' technologies into a familiar, user-friendly interface. Siri has gone from a pioneer to a symbol of missed opportunities. If Apple doesn't take radical steps, its voice assistant risks repeating the fate of BlackBerry, once the market leader left behind. Integration with OpenAI and other AI companies is the right move, but to surprise the world with its one more thing in AI, Apple will have to do much more.